Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of AWS Tech Tales. I'm your host, Matt Burke.
And I'm your co host today, subbing in for Zamara Brooke.
Welcome, everyone, to Tech Tales. If this is your first time tuning in, this is the show where we talk about real life customer issues and what you can do to solve them. And today we're talking about maybe not an issue per se, but we're talking about something that our customers face pretty much all the time, which is that you've completed your migration journey, you've got all your applications in the cloud, but guess what? You just lifted and shifted, and they're not cloud native. You're not really taking advantage of all the things that could save you money, make you more fault tolerant, improve your performance. You just kind of took what you had and you put it in there. So we're going to be talking about that today. Otis, welcome to the show. Happy Monday to you
Happy
too.
Monday.
It's super hot. I don't know if most of you are tuning in from maybe the northeast of the US, but it is super hot around here today. Almost, I don't know what I have.
Tomorrow is over 100. I'm not stepping foot outside.
Yeah, it's no good. Hey, Arietta, welcome back to the show. Thanks so much for
Hello.
tuning in. Um, so let us know in the chat. Have you taken an application that was just a normal, let's say, virtual machine that you brought to the cloud? And did you transform it? Did you make it a cloud native application? Let us know. Oh, yeah, we're happy you're here too. Welcome. Let us know in the chat what you're thinking. I mean, Brooke, in your experience at Amazon so far, have you done one of these before? Have you taken a legacy app and tried to help a customer navigate this journey?
Surprisingly, I have not. I feel like there's like different buckets of customers where like some are very mature and they're already like just building all these cloud native applications, and some are still kind of on that lift and shift migration mindset. So there's like a lot of variation and the kind of like workloads that you're supporting. Personally, I don't have a lot of experience with like database migration service, DMS, or like a lot of the services that AWS has to help and streamline that. So it'll be interesting kind of seeing how they translate over today, as we go through and try to like optimize what's already on here.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is like from a front end perspective, as a user, you're not going to really notice that there's a difference. Like the good thing is that maybe it is slightly faster, but at the end of the day, what's really important is keeping that app up. So all our site reliability engineers out there, making it easy to update. That's a big one. And then taking away some of the management of, like Brooke was saying, if you're migrating stuff from DMS, from maybe you were managing it on a VM before, can you get that into a managed database? And if so, can we handle some of this operational burden on your behalf?
Yeah, and I do wonder too, like what kind of the biggest pain points are as you go through, and like just all the considerations that like you might not have, right? Like with swapping over to AWS and like getting used to AWS networking and like seeing how that translates over. So I wonder if we'll run into any like kind of security group issues today as we're going through and setting everything up.
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's take a look at what we've got cooking today. Folks, we are opening the AWS Tech Tales Unicorn shop. I will put the link to our shop. This is a publicly accessible page, so if folks are interested, intrigued, you can check it out in the chat. So I will post it there. One moment. So this is, and as you probably are noticing, this is just a publicly accessible EC2 running on a publicly accessible DNS. So we may have to fix a little bit of this
Yeah, I don't
as
like
we
the
go
look
in
of
there.
that.
Yeah, I don't like to look at that. Now, normally we'd have our own domain. It would be nice. It would be unicornshop.com. But you can see we're selling a bunch of different uh, fun unicorn themed items, from a float to, this is a blanket, but it's a picture of a cake. So I need to go talk to my web admin about this. And then I've got unicorn party dress. Obviously, Zamara's family might enjoy one or two of these.
Oh, for
So
sure.
this is what our little application looks like. Now it's just Nginx plus Tomcat running on an EC2, and we got a MySQL database out there. And if I looked at what this looks like in terms of my instances, I've just got 2 instances running. They're very small instances. This is not a very popular shop yet. Running on T3 smalls. I got a database instance and a web server instance, and that's about it. And typically, when you're migrating from virtual environments to the cloud, that's kind of how it's going to look. Is you've got your instance that's got a database on it. You got your instance that has your web server. Maybe it's a traditional 3-tier where you're only doing 2 here, because we're going straight out to the internet just for demo purposes only.
Yeah, we have a comment from VDH here too. I think in response to our earlier question about what issues have you run into with migrating. Yep, we ran into scalability issues after moving older ESB technology into AWS, but ultimately solved this issue using Lambda API Gateway, which allowed to buffer the results and scale dynamically. Okay, interesting.
That is super interesting. Thank you for sharing that. So we are going to start to migrate this application, and our path will be as follows. First, we need to put an application load balancer in front of this thing. That's super important, because I don't want to be giving you a URL straight to an EC2. That's a big no-no. Then we're going to start to migrate this app through. We're going to containerize it, and we're not going to do the coding live, but we will do the infrastructure live. And then if we get to it, we're going to turn this MySQL database into an Aurora serverless database. And then hopefully our final architecture will look like this. Let's get cooking. So I think the first thing that we want to start to do is get an application load balancer. So I will click around and start to build that out. And Brooke, you point out anything that you notice as I'm going through.
Yeah, for sure.
And first thing is this big choice here. This probably comes up a lot. Brooke told me before the break that you're studying for SA Pro.
Oh, dear.
So this comes up a lot, is this decision matrix here. Is what load balancer do I use for my application? I think it might be.
This diagram's pretty good. Showing like the different layers that they handle.
It is good because it's giving you. Usually I'm used to. It's so blown up that I don't notice that, like, we've got our protocols right here, so it's kind of giving you the answer right away. So chat, let us know which load balancer should I be creating for a web application. You got to give them a second to respond. They're thinking.
I'm thinking too.
What I like is it also has the different symbols of what it could connect to.
Oh, okay.
You got Lambda. You've got your containers, and you've got your EC2, which I feel like you wouldn't necessarily. And then even on Gateway Load Balancer, this is always a trick question. Gateway Load Balancer, you've got your little firewall right here, so it's telling you exactly how to make this decision.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
I'm too versed in our like weird icons.
The symbols.
Yeah. We have a whole library of symbols so that you can use it in your PowerPoints and your network diagrams. So these come up a lot. But we're going to go with application load balancer. As you can see, we want HTTPS traffic. This is obviously HTTP. It is not. Oh, I'm trying to click here, but you can't see it, but not secure. So don't do that in real life. Don't do that in real life. So we're just going to create a load balancer here. And obviously it will be internet facing. And this is fun. You can pick whether it's going to do IPv4, IPv4, and IPv6, or dual stack without public IPv4. We're just going to stick with the normal IPs. I've been in networking for a really long time, and I've always been told about the move to IPv6, and we're still not there yet. network mapping. So
I think we want US East 1A and US East 1B.
and we've got the right subnets in these. And I don't know why I'm not seeing a label in this, though. Should be okay. Oh, wait, no. These aren't the ones that I want. Hold on. Where are my subnets? So we've got... Here we go. Public subnet, private subnet. We want our 2 public subnets, which are...
Could you clarify what you mean by not private?
Oh, Alexa's talking in the background. I don't know if that came up. Which is in 1A, 1B. Yeah, that looks good.
Were you talking to me just now?
So why don't I see my...
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm not sure what you mean. Can you
There we go.
clarify what you need help with?
Now we're good. So now I got the right VPC, got the right subnets.
Okay, that's looking good.
And then I've also need to do my security group. So this one's already recreated. This is what my web server security group looks like. And then we've got our HTTP 80, but I don't have a target group yet. So we want this, you can choose between another application load balancer, a Lambda, IP addresses, or instances. In this case, obviously, this is running on my instance. It's still my monolith application. Oh, wait. Go back to... So it's in this VPC. Make sure I got the right... All right, let me do this. Hold on. Got the right VPC, got the right health checks. You can also override these if you need to. I'm going to register my web server. And this is an important step that we need to include it as pending.
What does that do?
So if I remove this, then I wouldn't have any instances yet. So you could select this all you want. But if I don't add it, then it won't work. Okay. So we've just got a target group. It just has our 1 instance in it. So only thing hotter than the heat in the app is the stream. Oh, thank you. If you've got any questions or just let us know, we're happy to answer. We're just slowly creating this application load balancer. Doing my favorite thing in the console, which is I just built something, I get to refresh it, and then it's magically here. That's always important. And so now that we've got that done, we have a lot of other options we could do. If you were doing this for real, you'd always want to add a tag, make sure that you've got your cost allocation in good space. You can always add all these other fun features, but we're just creating a simple load balancer for our simple web server. Now this is going to take a little bit of time here to do this. So while this is creating, I'm going to step and I think take a little bit of a detour, which is that we want to, while we're building this application load balancer, we want to start to modernize our application. So I'm going to get that going, which in this case, modernization means containerizing. Brooke, not to put you, I always put people on the spot, not to put you in the spot, but what are some benefits of containerizing this application?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, so for one, right, it's going to be, if you're using like ECS, it's going to be a lot less overhead for managing your own servers. And then you can also do scaling up and down very efficiently, and not have to worry about the underlying compute or worrying about with just a traditional application on EC2, all the overhead that comes with that. So really just makes our lives a lot easier with setting this up.
So that's what I'm doing. I am setting up. I already built some of this, but I'm setting up a new ECS cluster to handle our web traffic for us. So I'm going to do networking, make sure it's in the right VPC, make sure it has the right subnets. So we're making sure that it's in our public subnets because this is our public. Actually, no, I'm flipping the script on that. We want our private subnets here. And we also want to make sure that we're not giving it a public IP for now. And for load balancing, we want to use a load balancer. Is this an AI generated video? No, we're not there yet, folks. I've
Maybe next
tested some
time.
tooling, but that can do it. But I don't know if an AI can do video and interact with you live yet. But we might be out of a job soon.
Yeah, they're safe for now.
So this is where I kind of have to wait. Oh, see, my load balancer is already here, which is good. You can use an existing listener, which is port 80. So right now I'm just setting up this new ECS service that's going to run my special unicorn shop application while I'm waiting for my application load balancer to finish deploying. The fun thing about the cloud, it's actually building something in the back end. There's real servers behind our application load balancers. And then, I'm using the existing one.
We're using Fargate, right?
We are using Fargate. So tell me a little bit about Fargate, Brooke. What the heck is that?
Oh dear, I have not used it. I know it's a serverless way of doing containers.
That's good. That's all you need to know. But what does serverless mean?
It means your life's easier. You don't have to worry about managing or provisioning servers for your instances.
See, it does not mean there are no servers. That's always the fun question: is serverless really about servers? That there's no servers. They exist. You just don't have to worry about them. You don't have to think about them. How much of this could be done by Amazon Q CLI?
Oh,
That's a great question.
All of it.
Now, you need to know what you want to do. So we're helping you a little bit with that. But once you do it once, you can just ask Q to do it again for you. Like I feel like you need to learn by doing at least once, but maybe I'm being a little bit old school on that one.
No, QCLI is amazing. I use it all the time, every day.
So I had to fix my deregistration delay, my path pattern. Again, they're just doing health checks here. And let me make sure all my settings are good, which they are. Okay. So we're deploying the service. While that's going on, let us go back to our application load balancer. Let's make sure that that's working properly. And we want to be able to test it. So the way we do that is I got a new DNS name. And this will be our DNS name for the rest of the things. And there we go. So I'll share this with the chat as well if you want to poke around our newest, fanciest website that's now behind a load balancer, which is good because even if you only want to have one server the whole time, you're trying to save as much money as possible. You're doing this on dollars. If If that server fails for whatever reason, you can set up an auto scaling group behind it. You can make sure you always have a single server ready to go. But that's not all we're doing, because we want to get our containers in shape. So back to our container application. One moment. So now I want to go to resource map. This is super small for everyone, so I might have to unzoom a little bit. So I've got two options here, which is forward to both my ECS service, which is my container, and my web server. So basically, once this is up and running, I'm going straight to the containers. So this has got higher priority. And let's see. Have I gone to the container yet? So it's spinning, which means that something's going on.
Oh.
I'm getting a gateway timeout. So we're slowly coming up. Let's go check on our ECS service. So don't do this during production time. Is this load balancer round robin? It is not right now. We're doing a path rule. So let's say if I did a different path, like if I was trying to do subdomains or something, then it would route to one or the other. But it is also doing health checks. So as you can see, my ECS service unhealthy. Oh, yeah, right here you can see the little red. It's unhealthy, while my EC2 is green. So.
And we could see in the ECS console too, right? Like our cluster, our tasks still spinning up.
Green. It's the deployment is
Okay,
in progress. Yeah. So generally, you'd want to make sure that you do this either not during business, or you gracefully flip it over. But what we also want to do is actually deploy our application to the container. Right now, when this thing is actually finished loading, when it stops being a gateway timeout and starts being a healthy server, there's actually nothing. Our website isn't running on there, so we have to actually deploy our website onto the container image itself. So I'm going to start to do that as we're waiting for this to finish, and I'm going to do that by building a code pipeline, which I feel like is if you're studying for a DevOps or SysOps or developer, this is where this will come up. I feel like a lot of folks use a lot of their preferred tooling. We're going to show you the AWS way to do it. And that's going to start with building a pipeline. And it's going to be a custom pipeline. And so I'm doing this for fun, but I'm not the best developer. I don't, Brooke, you're a much better developer than I am. What's your DevOps tools of choice?
You know, I haven't used a lot of the like AWS like code pipeline. I do get asked a lot of questions about it on my SA Pro studying. So like Matt was saying, it's definitely a good one to know. Yeah, we use a lot of just like GitLab. And right now for like some of the projects that I'm on where we do prototyping, it's a lot of manual deployments. So we're working our way up for sure.
Object key. So I'm just setting up. Where's the container? Where's my code being deployed from? So it's in my image definitions.zip folder in my bucket, and we keep that as good. And then we can skip all this. So this is where you would add your commands, where you would add your other things that you would want to do. We're going to skip the build stage. We're going to, I think, skip the test stage too, if I'm not mistaken. We're just going to go straight to the deploy stage, which is just getting this out there. We're going to deploy it to ECS. And I like how that you have an option of moving.
Oh,
So that's helpful. And then we're going to find our cluster. This is our modernization cluster, service, the unicorn service. And then that should be it with the automatic rollback. And I'm going to next and create the pipeline. So this should deploy our application to our containers. So this is still, let's see if I refresh this, if it's still healthy or not. Yeah, see, it's still not happy. So that's why this will help us run. So now we're deploying it. And then once this is deployed, we can shut down the legacy server and then we're just fully on a container now. Now, I'm trivializing a lot of things here. Obviously, we had to take the code and put it and develop it and put it into the container. But we're just kind of showing how simple it is to kind of move from one to another when all that's taken care of.
yeah, that's one thing I was learning about recently while studying is like it's not always like an easy just lift and shift. Like sometimes the language that the code is written in like doesn't translate over to being on certain EC2 instances or certain AMIs. So you always have to make sure that it's compatible with whatever you're migrating it over to.
That's generally what we talk about too when we're talking about like moving to an ARM processor, like Graviton, for instance. Like
Yep.
all your dependencies, your binaries, that you probably even your AMIs, if you're moving from an EC2, it's completely different. So this will take a little bit, and while we're waiting, we can move on to this third piece here, which is if I go to EC2. I've got my instances. I've got this DB server. So now I want to move this. I want to move this to a managed database. So any guesses in the chat? What am I going to use? What service am I going to use for that? It's actually one of the few that is named really well.
Yeah, I wonder what we could use for a service to migrate databases.
I don't know. If you want to migrate a database, what could that even be? If I just was to type in database migration, oh, that's easy. That never happens.
Yeah, one of the few aptly named services.
So I'm going to start a migration task. So we're going to go under migrate or replicate tasks. What's new today? Oh, unified task flow. That's exciting. And we're going to create this task. So pardon me while I enter just a bunch of...
Everything's becoming unified these days. We got SageMaker Unified Studio.
I mean, everyone wants a single... my entire career has been selling you a single pane of glass that then needs to manage other panes of glass, and then it just never ends. Let's see. We've got our source database. So I've got pretty much most of this provisioned. And just want to make sure I have all the settings correct. Is this the official? Yes, this is the official Amazon. I mean, AWS. Amazon somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Okay, so we are going to go to the settings. Table preparation mode, we're going to do nothing. this part is a bit, I will admit, I'm no DB admin. Some of this is a bit gibberish to me. So it's okay to admit that you don't know things, guys. We are going to turn on logs. That's super important, because then if you tell me that something went wrong, I won't know what happened. And we're going to turn on log context, which is, I don't even see that here actually anymore. I think that's just gone. Let's do advanced settings. Let's see if it's in the advanced. Nope, it's not even there. Okay. And we're going to do mappings. We're going to add a new rule. And this. Oh, hold on. Where schema name. Hold on. Your schema name is like Unishop. Schema table. We want to include. All right, let's hope. I think that's what I need to get this thing going. I'm going to turn off my pre-migration assessment. And I'm going to create the task. And let's see how this goes. And while that's going, let's see our pipeline.
Did we just do with all those settings?
All those clicks.
Yeah.
Are you part of the DevOps team? That's a great question. So we're technical account managers. So what that means is that we come as part of. It's funny when when you take the AWS exams, our job role comes up in them, which is silly. But when you get AWS support, enterprise support comes with the technical account manager. We're here to help you with all your operational support, cost optimization, all the helping you operate in the cloud needs. So we're not part of the DevOps team here, but there are folks that stream that do.
Architecture branch family of roles.
Let's see. So this is still deploying. It's taking its time. I'm just impatient with these things. So let's see. Now I've got a multiple pots on the stove. What would you say? So what we're doing here is we're taking everything from we've already set up some of the nitty gritties here, but basically I've got my MySQL database running on this EC2 instance. I'm sucking that data out of there and I'm putting it in an Aurora serverless cluster. So we got some tables loaded. So it's working. The load is running. We're almost done already. That's exciting.
Matt, do you know if it's like easier to migrate to like something like Aurora over RDS?
It really just depends on what your source is. Like if you're already using a MySQL or PostgreSQL database, we make it pretty easy to either migrate that directly to RDS or migrate that to Aurora. Now, obviously, there's things that you would need to do in order to ensure that just essentially do those tests to make sure that everything's performing the right way that you'd like it to. But it's pretty easy. Now, if you're moving, and this is generally what folks are doing to save money, if you're moving from a more Oracle or a SQL server, then it's not as easy. A lot more checks to do, and there's different behaviors that might have been optimized for, let's say, SQL Server that aren't optimized for Aurora. So, you gotta do your due diligence, as it were.
Yeah, speaking of these unified platforms, was recently working on a project with SageMaker Unified Studio, and learned that the querying languages, like there's very, very tiny differences in like some of the syntax if you're like using, like looking at like a Redshift table in SageMaker versus like just regular Athena. Like it'll be like just the slightest like a semicolon change or something like that, and it will completely cause your query to fail.
Yeah, that's when you get the syntax wrong. I mean, that's honestly that's what I really like about having something like Q, where before you just kind of be like, I don't know what's wrong, and I can't tell what I did.
Yeah, we were using Q to like troubleshoot. And even it was starting to get confused because like when you're in SageMaker, right, it's like you always have to be double checking like, okay, am I in my Redshift table right now, or like which like where am I at? Because there's just so much going on.
See, why is it saying this is unhealthy still? Oh, because the request timed out. Let's see. How's my pipeline going? Oh no, it
Okay.
failed. Why did it do that? Let's see how my database is going. Well, at least this worked. So let's finish one thing, and then I'll go back and we can help get the chat to help us uh, figure this one out. So let's make sure we got the task statistics. We got our tables completed. Unicorns table should have 10. Yep. I see 10 rows. And those rows should be fully loaded. That's great. Okay. So let's fix what's going on with our containers. So let's go to VCS.
Oh, failed task.
And why is it? So I think what worries me is that my my service is unhealthy. Why is that? Is it because it's in the wrong? Oh, these are my private. Let me make sure something. Let me make sure I didn't do anything, because this is the problem. Is it's I'm using my load balancer to get to a private subnet. I want to make sure that my settings are correct. Do do do. So here's my service. Let's update the service. Let's make sure that I've got everything correct. Do I have the right? Here's a question. Do I have the right? Nope. That was the problem. Very simple problem, folks. Wrong security group. So let's update that one. And that makes sense. Why then I wasn't able to get to it. Nothing was able to access it.
What was the other security group supposed to be for?
It's just the default security group got selected from the default VPC, which is no help to anybody. So now I should be able to, once the health checks come back, should be able to. So let's rerun this pipeline. Retry stage. So now it's going to try that. Now I'm waiting for my health to come back for my special service. Let's see. This is where you get really impatient, folks. Actually, this is where I want to put on the waiting music.
Yeah, I guess I'm confused. If our task is running, then what's the health check waiting on?
It should be waiting on a number of, what's the word, like successful listens. Like it should be able to hit the task. Because why it's saying it's unhealthy is because it's not able to actually hit the request timed out. So let's check the health checks. See, it's waiting for 5 consecutive. It's on a 30. See, this is the problem. It's on a 30-second interval. This is going to take a little bit of time. I'm going to bring this down to 10. Because basically what it's saying is it's minutes, literally minutes. It's got to be 5 consecutive health check successes, 30 seconds each. So I need to take at least like 2.5 minutes for it to pick it, to say that it's healthy.
Excessive too, for just one task.
I know. What does our comment say? Useful in RAG. What's useful in RAG? I missed this before. So now I just got to wait for this to be healthy. I think we have just enough time to get this all set up and happy in just a moment. So let's see. Because if I do 10 seconds, it's about 50 seconds of it doing continuously. And hopefully that was the only thing that I messed up. Those are both correct. Web server group. Public. Let's check our...
I forget, what kinds of permissions did we have to specify for the code pipeline to deploy to the cluster?
That gave itself its own role. So it should have all the service level.
A typical service role.
Yeah. And let's see. I think this looks good to me. But I'm still waiting for it to go healthy. Why is it still timed out? Let me see if there's something. Else that I missed. This one is now running. We got good stuff on the pipeline here. I haven't seen an issue yet. And then I guess while we're waiting, I'm going to also update the database. So I'm going to go to Aurora. And this is our new database right here. So I'm going to take this writer instance. I'm going to take this endpoint. Go back to ECS. So now I'm just going to set it up so that it knows to point to the new database. So under task definitions, this is the task definition. I'm going to create a new revision. And this is where I'm going to set up our environment variable, which is right here. So this is where I was pointing to our EC2 instance with the database. I'm now going to point it to my Aurora endpoint. And that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to create a new revision. And I'm going to wait for this other. I don't want to collide these deployments, folks. I'm afraid. Last time when I do these things, it gets what's the word? Things get all scrambled, and then we don't finish this on time. So let's see. Let's check. Oh, okay. So number one, we've got our website back, which is good. This is our modernized website portal. It looks a lot nicer. So this means two things. It means that we've got our newly modernized application onto the container. And it also means that we're running, that we fixed the problem with the deployment. So we fixed the security group, we fixed this. I'm surprised the chat didn't figure this out for me. Now we've got our new, better looking version of the shop.
Modernized portal now on the site itself.
Yeah, but we didn't fix the fact that the unicorn blanket is a cake. So we still have some work to do. Great. So what that means is I can do two final things here, which means that I can shut down my legacy server, which is always the fun part, whether you're in a data center or whether you're in the cloud, is I get to go and shut down that old server. And that will prove to you that I have successfully migrated. So I'm shutting this down. I'm not deleting it yet because I just want to make sure that everything's working. I don't want to show a bad practice of just terminating it and you'll never get it back. And then we'll go and deploy the new task definition. So I'm going to do update service. And it's auto-populating everything. And I think I don't need to do anything else besides update. So what I'm doing now is I'm updating our website to now point to the new Aurora database. So once that's done, I'll be able to shut down the old database and we're good to go. Oh, Lambda driver, what's up? How can we help?
Is that a frog?
Yeah,
Can't tell what that emote is. He's cute though.
So I can start closing down tabs. We're making progress here.
That's the best part.
So this is unused. The target's in the stop state. So guess what? We're doing great. It's still running. I'm going to close out our DMS task. This says that it's healthy, but now it will be healthy. And I got two containers running too. So now I'm redundant from before. And let's see where our ECS deployment is at. So I'm going to close these out. Go back to ECS. And now let's look at our tasks. So this new one is running. Let's see what service is going. And this still looks good. So let's see if I get the right information. You had me till I started closing tabs. I don't want to keep 1.2 quintillion tabs open. Ah, man, I do.
I do. For sure.
But then my computer starts to slow down. I don't know which tab is which. The state of where I am in my workday is based on how many tabs I have.
No, I think having like 20 or 30 tabs open is like level 1, but where you really start to get more advanced is one of the TAMs in our org. I was talking to him the other day. He has like 6 different monitors open for like his 6 different tasks that he's working on. So if you're just using a lot of tabs, that's fine, but I think 6 monitors is too much.
I agree. So right now, folks, if you're just tuning in, we're just about to wrap up on our app modernization. What I'm trying to do is make sure that we've successfully migrated our database to the new server. But since we're getting close to time, I honestly think that the best way to verify. Oh, here we go. See, look, now we've got the one last task. I think we're in good shape now. So I think I can shut down our legacy. So we went from this, which is our 2 EC2 servers. We went and migrated our EC2 compute to ECS. That's working great. And now we've migrated our MySQL database on EC2 through DMS to Aurora Serverless. And now I'm just going to double check to make sure that my app is running. Don't try this at home. My app is running without the database. So I'm going to turn my database off. And that should keep my application going. And what's great is then I can add this unicorn float to my cart. I'm going to sign up on my newly modernized application. And I can now log in. That's great.
Awesome.
So, Brooke, is there anything that you learned from this, or is this all old hat now that you've been studying?
No, getting to see like actually how you set up the code pipeline was interesting. That was great to see.
My cart isn't showing anything though. It doesn't like me.
Oh no.
What language did you use for this demo app? Oh, that's a good question. Let's go take a look at. I think that this is written.
You could see what's on S3.
It's in a zip file, so without downloading it from my computer. Yeah, it's like in the zip, so I don't know. That's a good question. I feel bad I don't know the answer to it. Do I have it in my notes somewhere? Let's see. Oh, it's Java code. Here. I'll share it to you. I'll put this out in the chat. So now you have the code. So yeah, we successfully have finally moved this architecture with your help all the way to this new latest and greatest. I think that we got it. I think it's working great. And so now we can continue to add more replicas. We can add more containers. We can go multi-regional if we want. We can do all of the things now that we've gotten this out of compute, which is pretty exciting. But I will leave it there. Brooke, now we can buy all the unicorn stuff that we want.
Oh, perfect.
It's all free.
Great.
Let me see. We've got something exciting for next. Oh, okay, folks, for next week, same time, same channel. Before you go on your long weekend for the July 4th holiday in the US, come hang out with us. We'll be doing some CloudFormation troubleshooting. Now, I know what you're going to say. I use Terraform, but I think that we all need to play around a little bit in the CloudFormation stew, get comfortable with those error codes, because I know that when I'm deploying, that's not what I like to see. Especially Corsair is asking, what if I want pizza though?
Sure.
But yeah, come tune in next week. So thank you for all for coming here. I'm going to also drop a line to the original workshop that I've been playing around with, so that if you are interested in testing this out yourself, you can play around a little bit with that. But we'll be here next week, same time, same channel. And Brooke will be here with me as well.
I'll be here.
So
same time next week.
Thanks, everyone. If you've got any final questions, let us know. Otherwise, we go to the ending video and we call it a day.
Pretty successful workshop today. Not too many issues, right?
I mean, I still had the one issue. So it's always fun to troubleshoot live and then remember that maybe I do know what I'm doing sometimes. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Spacey Corsair.
See ya.
See ya, everyone. Bye.